And howdy again, y'all. Sean from Cappy's Cars. Today we got something a little bit different for you, where I was actually able to find something on my local Facebook Marketplace. And I know the various, chat boards and other video channels that I watch and things like that that I go on, and people will always post these random things they find on Facebook Marketplace, these like fantastic deals. Sort of like if you watch some of these Goodwill videos and stuff like that, people will find those too. And I can tell you, my local Goodwills never have anything, but my local Facebook Marketplace is usually full of people trying to sell cards that look like they're run over by a truck for $100. So when I saw this for a decent price, it was a 2,000 count box of different sports cards, modern sports cards. I figured I'd jump on it and check it out. And then this guy threw in whatever's in here as well, right on top of it. So let's check it out. Let's open it up and see what we got. And as you can see, it's packed pretty tight in there, for, I guess it's a 3,000 count box, not a 2,000 count box, but still. If you're familiar with my shop or you're not, here's the link, of course, as I hit the tripod. Here's the link to the shop down here on my breaker mat. But you can also get the link to the shop in the description of the video, as well as, the link to all my social media feeds and that sort of stuff. But I only deal in baseball and football. So if there's any other sports or non-sports cards, things like that in here, what's going to happen is I just wind up boxing them up, and then I sell them on eBay, just like the other box videos I open that you can see here on the channel if you go through my various listings, things like that. So I'm not a pro basketball fan, or I watch hockey, right? But I'm not a big, I couldn't sit there and do the same things like I do with these and other things. So let's check them out. And the first pile I pull out here, some decent cards here in terms of the make of the cards, although, say what you want about Carson Wentz. Here's the, the coach of the Colts, right? Jeff Saturday. And I live outside Indianapolis, so I still am pretty dumbfounded by, the way the Colts behave. And I grew up inside of Baltimore, so I shouldn't be surprised by it, because, like, my earliest memory as a kid is when the Colts moved here. So, I just follow them 30 years later. So some nice select cards there. Here's some elite Steelers cards. I like this that they're already sorted a little bit. Helps me, as I'm going through and putting them together for the shop. And if you follow my Instagram or Twitter, any of these, nice Tom Brady. The big comeback, 28-3, right? If you follow my shop, you can see, it's Josh Allen, how I update these things and keep them, up to date. And I've been going through, and heck, as fast as I've sold, put some back, they've sold out, right, of some of the teams. So definitely check us out over there in the shop. You get 30 cards in each team bag, and they're a mix of newer cards and older cards like this. So maybe some of the teams I've sold out from, again, I'll be able to pop back in stock a couple of them at least. But we'll see. Some nice, there's Zeke, Emmett, Jalen Smith, Witten Man of the Year, Dak. Yeah, there's some Giants there. I think I've got all those Cowboys cards. If you're also not familiar with the channel, I'm a Cowboys fan. So I do yank out a couple Cowboys cards here and there. But hey, still got plenty to make, the ones in stock. I'm a Mets fan too, and I just put 38 Mets packs back in stock. So you can tell I'm not, keeping everything as I find the teams that I like. So some nice start here with Optic and Elite. And here we got some score from this year. So all football so far. And, they left the stars in. It's Joe Montana. And is that an insert? Eli Mitchell. Kittle. Yeah, Mitchell again. Jerry Rice. G. A couple Kyler Murrays as I flip through here in the score stuff. Then we got some more of these, Immaculates. Is that 21 Immaculate, right? Darnold, Lamar. I think 22 Donruss football is coming out soon, but of course the big thing coming out real soon is, 2023 Topps Baseball. Comes out on I believe the 15th of February, so roughly 10 days after I'm filming this. Looking forward to that. And then here is some, Chrome baseball, as I say that. DeGrom, McNeil, Marte. Some Mosaic baseball. This must be the guy that goes to, as I bought it locally here. He must go around to all the local stores that I try to frequent and pick up things. You see once in a while where I do pick up stuff, but, things in my area get cleaned out so fast. So some nice Prism and an Optic again from last year. And there's some more score from this year. So it's nice to have some more newer cards to mix in. to the new packs. And we'll just, we'll not drop them. How about that? Let's see. Let's grab this little side one here and see what this is. They look a little curled, so I imagine they're chrome again to some degree. Yeah. So some Prism baseball is pretty neat. Salvi Perez, Verlander, the new Met, and throwing around Albert Pujols. I'm throwing around one of the best. What are you doing? Robert. So some nice cards there too. Let's try a different row. Let's see what we get out of here, right? Because it looks like these falling down are still some more of that Prism kind of stuff. Some select. Kyler Murray's. Marino. Tua. Another Marino. That's pretty neat. Sort of a clear card, right? You can see through there from Immaculate. King of Cards. So I guess some insert set there. Brock Lesnar as a Viking. I remember when he was drafted by them, right? But decided to go in a different direction. That's pretty neat. Yeah. So we got some more Prism in here. That's a DAC. I think that's a new one I'm going to set aside for me. Same thing with the King of Cards DAC, since I've never seen that before. And Illusionist, these sort of clearer cards. Let's set those aside. I might have the Illusionist one, but we got some Mac Jones rookies. Chenault never panned out, right? He's wound up bouncing over to the Panthers, right, I believe. I had him in a Dynasty Fantasy Football League, and that didn't work out very well. CMCs, so some more Titans here we got now. There's another one of these clear cards, right? Lots of Derrick Henrys. Titans are always a popular team over in the shop. Raiders too, right? Though I don't know about right now. They haven't sold very much since I put them back in stock maybe a week or so ago. A couple of them have. Some Packers there. Packers is a team I'm sold out of, as are the Chiefs. So hopefully I can get them back in stock here with what I find and the few cards I have left over from before. Yeah, maybe I can go out and find some more. And of course, if you're watching this and you have any sort of nice Josh Allen cards here, rookies, or at least, I don't know if they're rookies, but they're him and his, no, they're not rookies, they're 22 cards, but they are, college uniform. But if you have any cards like this that you're interested to sell and, you have bulk, this size, bigger, you could throw in a box, especially if you're in the Indianapolis area where I can pick them up. Setting those two aside for myself, the Romo and Drew Pearson. But my email is also in the description of the video, so definitely check that out and send me an email. Be willing to work on price and, that sort of stuff, and we can figure it out. And always looking to buy in this sense. So let's try over here on the side. Let's see what we pull from here. Some more baseball. Renato. So these are all nicer cards, right? Especially for the price I paid for this. I got this relatively cheap, right? Always nice when you don't have to pay for shipping. But, compared to what I've got recently off eBay. Heck, I filmed one eBay video a little while ago, and it had some nice stuff in it, especially on the baseball side, but also had some crap. So I wound up not, listing that video here online. But these cards, right, even though they're going to be stars that I recognize, even though I'm not a big NBA fan, right? I mean, obviously I know Barkley and stuff when I was a kid, but, there's Durant, there's Stephen Curry, Zion Williamson, right? So there are some stars here. These are going to wind up in just a general mix box when I have enough basketball and other cards to sort of mix in. And I do like a multi-sport box that I throw on eBay, and it's Dr. Old School 121. Dr. Old School is my old DJ name back when I was a DJ years ago. But still, they will wind up there, and I will sell them like that because, names I recognize, I can't, I have hard enough time just going through and building these out, right? And keeping these up with, also having a full-time job as a professor and that sort of thing. And, I've never seen that many press proofs in one run, and they're all Colts. So Colts stock will be updated nicely. Lots of Jonathan Taylors, Peytons. Got that goofy Pro Bowl game happening today as I'm filming this, the flag football, whatever the heck they're doing with the Manning brothers coaching the teams. But, so check out my eBay as well, right? Maybe I'll link that in the description of the video. Lots of Colts. Lots and lots and lots of them. Lots of Jonathan Taylors. I guess it shouldn't surprise me either, right? It probably wouldn't surprise me if I have lots of Bengals like this as well as I go through. It's nice to see some Joe Burrows and Jamar Chases and stuff like that I can mix into the packs. Wouldn't be surprised if I go through here and see a lot of Bears too, because the Bears aren't too far away from where I live. So one thing about Indianapolis, never realized it, I guess, before I moved here, right? We're 2 hours from Cincinnati. We are 3 hours from Columbus. We are 2.5 hours from Chicago, about 3.5 to St. Louis, right? 2 hours to Louisville. So it really is kind of the crossroads of America, right? As they like to say, when they're billing and, their kind of promotion of Indiana, right? In that way, other than the race, of course, that they like to play up. So here's one of these Colts cards. Lots of Peyton Mannings. Leonard Tuas. So nice selects and optics, some higher end stuff, not just, there's some score mixed in, but not just, beat up kind of old cards or paper cards like I've been pulling out of some of these eBay boxes recently. And really nice stuff. What's that clear card? Is that Derrick Henry again? And there's another one with Dak. I'm going to set that over here. That one's going to go in mine. Though, as you've seen as I'm going through here, there's definitely some duplicates, right? There's several of these Carson Wentz cards, right? Somebody, I guess, must have thought maybe the Colts would hold on to a damn quarterback for more than a season when they got him, especially with the Frank Reich connection that they had, but yikes. Will they draft a quarterback this year? They kind of have to at some point, don't they? It worked out with Andrew Luck for a couple of years, had he stayed healthy and stuck around, right? But since then, it's been, a turnstile. You have my old neighbor and Phillip Rivers there from NC State, and, then Carson Wentz and, Matt Ryan's failure this year, and then everything falling apart. Some Seahawks here. Prestige from this year. And some more selects of Broncos and Rams, and some Donruss from last year. 21 Donruss. Still don't know what's going on with Panini. Are they going to wind up? Ooh, that's a nice DeGrom. That one I have to set aside. Still don't know if they're going to wind up with the over in Fanatics with the other things. It's a nice thick card of Joe Morgan. I like that card. I'm not a Reds fan or a big Red Machine fan, but that'll be a nice addition to the Reds packs, right? It's a nice card. It's a neat Marte, Lindor, Alonso. I think I have all them. Trout in there, McNeil's, Marte again. Another one was DeGrom, Chromes, Blackman, Story. I am sold out of the Rockies right now as well. Some Orioles there. Orioles got a lot of young talent. Let's see if they can actually use it for once, as opposed to watching it all fall apart, as they usually do. Let's grab somewhere else in the box here just for giggles and see where this is going. And then maybe, here we got some more basketball. It's Kawhi Leonard. So a couple names I recognize before I find football again. Here are some Chronicles. Patty Mahomes on top. Debo. There's Brady. Right, Brady just retired. You see they're selling the sand off where somebody went and got the sand. I've been joking with people about it and saying that's got to be Brady's, burner eBay account where he just sat there with some mason jars and made a few bucks. Though I'm sure somebody just went down and bought it, right? But they're just crapped it. But yeah, I saw somebody was selling like the water from the Splash Mountain, right? That's probably where they got the idea to do that. So some more basketball cards here. There's some nice cards. In terms of the make of the cards. But again, not an NBA fan. I got paired up once playing golf with the Pacers, play-by-play guy. And, when you're playing golf with somebody that you don't know, you kind of do, the perfunctory small talk. What do you do for a living? And I asked him that, and he just kind of looked at me like I was nuts. Like, I'm the play-by-play guy for the Pacers? Oh, that's Chris Denari. It's just, I fell out of the NBA when I was a kid. When they had a strike or a lockout, one of those things in the late 90s, and I just never got back into it. I think because I started watching hockey more then, and of course always been watching football and baseball, and of course my favorite player of all time I gotta set aside, but still, never got back into it and moved on. And of course around that time I was in college too, so I was drunk half the time, and you know, whatever. So some nice cards again. Let's go in this little box. Let's see what's in there, because I think we've seen pretty much. I mean, there's a couple Crown Royale cards here I'll pull out real quick. I can see just from the die cut of them. It's a pretty neat card. I like the old Cowboys logo. So if you're not familiar with that, they're their original logo from 1960. But, you know, some of these old Crown Royale cards here, Brandon Whedon. That's pretty neat. The Heroes card of Murray, Ridley. There's Matt Ryan, C.J. Spiller, Fred Jackson, A.J. Green. So some different older cards in there too. It's not just stuff from the last couple of years. Let's slide this up here out of the way for a minute. And let's look in this box, because I don't want to, I mean, we could spend an hour going through that box, and maybe I'll do that another time. But let's see what's in here. Some more baseball. So this year's baseball. A couple of basketball cards. These look like, I mean, they're NBA hoops, but they look like an old Fleer set from the 80s to me. Kind of remind me of that in the design. It was the year after Jordan's rookie. 87, I guess that would be. Fleer, 88, one of them. Here is TNA Wrestling. Oh, okay. That'll get mixed into that multi-sport box. Some more, whoops. And the old Chrome cards sliding around. You know how that is if you're familiar with these. So, some more of these Chromes from this year. So, some Prisms. All right, let's get this and let's fix these basketball cards that are sliding here real quick. And let's see what this is. So I've got some more baseball and football at least mixed in here. And Brandon Crawford. It's a neat card. Then a Diamond Kings. It's not numbered, right? No. But Jalen Hurts. The Eagles, I think I got 1 or 2 packs left as I'm filming this. So Mike Trout's always nice to see. Salvi Perez again. Acuna. Some of these older Diamond Kings. And, of course, the modern ones there are VR. Random Met. McCutcheon. Just re-signed in Pittsburgh not too long ago. It's Acuna again. What's that one? Rondon, Mountcastle. Then we're back to the football cards here. Matt Ryan not panning out. And it's just one. So some more 22. That's updates, what I thought. Baseball. Let's see what's down in here. So some 22 Donruss. And, ooh, we got some Pokemon. I know nothing about Pokemon other than these are Pokemon cards. So I'm going to set them right there. If they were something good, tell me. Otherwise, I have no idea. They're going to wind up in a box. I have never in my life, of all the years I've been collecting cards and looking at cards, I have never seen lacrosse cards before. Wow. Just growing up in Maryland, lacrosse was a thing. So, you know, I mean, they're Topps cards from last year. So good on them for getting a card deal. And now we got some soccer cards. And of all the sports I hate, soccer is at the top of the list. I am never, ever liked soccer in my life. So if there's anybody good there, I would recognize a top name, but if there was anybody good when I flipped past, please let me know. So some more. That's you know, what we call Heritage from last year. And oh, so we go from Pokemon to Fortnite. And more things I know nothing about. Definitely an OK Boomer moment going through here. Maybe my daughter would like some of these. I mean, I'm not going to give her a gun card, but still. I'm not saying that I have nothing against guns. I'm a gun owner. But still, you know, I'm not going to give a 3-year-old a card with a gun on it. There, if somebody wants that. I have no idea what that is. But here, scan the thing and enjoy. Oh. Glenn Rice, Sean Kemp. Some throwback Topps cards. Yeah, more Pokemon. No idea what they are either. Put that in that pile. Oh, we got some hockey cards. They look modern-ish, right? No, they're not. So, 92 O-Pee-Chee. Yeah, I guess that's kind of the 92 Topps baseball and football design. So, put that over here. Some other hockey cards. Yeah, a little beat up in the corner there. In the one. And we're back to these basketball cards again. They're kind of throwback cards. So I'm just going to flip past those Topps Finest cards. What else we got in here? Let's finish this out. It's a neat chrome card there. It's a nice, you know, Sanchez, right, with that sort of design. And oh, we're back to soccer. So put those over here with the soccer cards. Back to baseball, some Kelenic. Who I really thought when the Mets gave him up for Diaz, man, they screwed up. But he has not panned out well, at least at the major league level or even at AAA. He hasn't been overly spectacular. So, and Diaz, of course, last year became a thing with his intro music and that sort of stuff. So maybe that will hold up in the deal. Here's some more of these Fortnite cards that I know nothing about. They're going to wind up, you know, when I list the multi-sport box, I will say it's also got some non-sport in it. And they will wind up in there. The DeGrom I went past. Here's another Pokemon. Yeah, I like that old school Bowman throwback design, right? And some others here. There's another one of those Bowman throwbacks. And then what do we got here? Some more. That's kind of mixed. That James Harden. There's Trout again in chrome. And some more of this Topps Chrome from this year. There's not going to be a Goldschmidt or a Judge, of course. I think that thing comes to an end soon. A couple random 87 Topps cards thrown in. Everything else being relatively modern except for those couple of hockey cards. And yeah, there's a couple more basketball to throw in that pile. Yeah, we'll make another pile over here. And let's just get these couple out. And there's a Garbage Pail Kid card here. I, of course, had Garbage Pail Kids. He was a kid of the 80s, right? So defaced U-turn. Menaced Dennis. Sure. And we got some more NBA hoops here. And Carson Wentz is not an MVP. Some more basketball. Dirk, Karl Malone. Frequent flyers. Sure. And there's a Kid Reporter card. Knock yourself out if you're watching this and you like these things. If it's even still good, I have no idea. You know, there you go. And some other basketball to kind of round this down, except for some old football cards. Oh my God, there's a USFL card. So the original USFL, not this TV-driven production that they had. You know, this is from the early 80s, right? Back when Donald Trump, of course, owned a team and that sort of thing. And I like this Panini card here of Aikman. I don't have that, you know, any kind of modernish Aikman cards. Very limited of those. That's a neat Tua. Oh, that's Tulia. That's the Maryland quarterback. It's his brother. So I have to see if he pans out. He blew out his knee, I think. Or maybe really hurt it bad. I think in the Ohio State game there towards the end, I think it was. It's either Ohio State or Michigan. So let's see if he pans out somewhere and we'll hold on to that. So I think this has been long enough as we're kind of going through here and looking at these other things a lot, you know, as I just flip into the big box here that we've seen already. Some more basketball in there, but a lot of football. It's mostly football, mostly that select and, you know, mosaic and some score and stuff like that mixed in. So it's a heck of a deal I got on this box. And of course, those will be passed on to you as I update the packs over there in the Etsy shop. So give us a like, subscribe if you haven't already here on YouTube. You'll see some product updates and opening videos like this. And, you know, sale information, whenever I relist things. And if I do have sales come up soon, I'll probably do one around spring training, something like that for baseball. So check us out over there, and we'll see you in the shop.